friends, welcome to the channel JIB and CIB Made Simple. So this is our English version of lecture Abfm unit number 2. The topic is planning. Chapter name is planning. So these are the topic which we are going to study. Let me show you the topics. So the first topic we have is regarding the objectives of this chapter. Then we will see the introduction. Then after we will see the fundamentals of planning, steps in planning, importance of planning, advantage and disadvantages of planning, MBO, this is super important topic, management by objective, plan components and contingency plannings, right? And then after we will see forecasting and decision making. So these are the 9 topic which we have to go through. So let's start with the first topic and let's cover each and every topic in step by step manner. So friends, have you ever wondered why some business thrive while others struggle? The secret is the planning. But hey, planning is not just about making a to-do list. It is a game plan that saves time, effort and resource. Imagine this. You want to expand your bank's loan portfolio. Do you just start giving out loan randomly? Of course not. First you analyze market trend, assess the risk and map out future needs. So that is planning in action. Planning is not just a fancy concept, it is a smart step by step strategy, right? So it is safe, you can see clearly written whatever I am talking about, clearly written here. So it is a smart step by step technique, right? Strategy, it involves what? It involves deep thinking, right? You can see clearly written here, it involves deep thinking and research, right? It involves these thinking and research, predicting the future needs, then after evaluating risk and challenges, structuring methods to streamline work and managing finance, time and resources. So here you can see the keywords, right? So what does planning include? That is what I am talking about. So first thing is that deep thinking and research, right? Predicting the future needs, evaluating risk and challenges, structuring methods to streamline work, managing finance, time and resource. And guess what? Every decision, whether it is strategic, whether it is tactical, whether it is operational, stems from solid planning. It all stems from solid planning. So whether you are managing liquidity or handling credit risk, a well thought out plan is all best ally, right? Now let's see the steps in planning. So now we can contemplate that how important is the planning, right? Now what are the steps included in the planning? Let's discuss now. So friends, ever seen a cricket team win without a strategy? No chance. The same go for banking and business. Without proper planning, you are just guessing. So we will break down the key step in planning in the simplest way possible. So before jumping into action, please analyze this opportunity. That is called opportunity analysis. So friends, what is happening in the market? Right. The first question is, what is happening in the market? Right. Is there any demand for new financial product? Is there any demand? Or can we expand operation profitably? So for example, if digital payment are booming, a bank might plan to launch an exclusive UPI based credit card. The step is all about understanding the present and predicting the future, right? So the first step is opportunity analysis, means spot the right chance, means what is happening in the market. Is there any demand for new financial product? Can we expand our operation profitably? This question we have to ask and seek the answer, right? Suppose digital payment are booming, so bank might plan to launch an exclusive UPI based credit card. This step is all about understanding the present and predicting the future need. You can see understanding current circumstance means you are understanding the present, and the future prospect means you are predicting the future needs, right? Now this is the step 1 of planning. The step 2 is setting clear objective. You can see it is about the setting clear objective, means this is the foundation of planning. This is what we call as the foundation of planning, right? Imagine you are on road trip but you don't know the destination. How will you reach anywhere? Similarly, business must define the clear objective before planning anything. So the first question is, what do we want to achieve? What do we want? Second question is, how much growth, right? How much growth are we aiming for? The third question is, what policy will impact our plan? What policy will impact, right? So these are the three fundamental questions regarding the objective, right? So objective establishment is very crucial. So we should clearly establish our objective, right? What do we want? How much growth are we aiming for? What policies will impact our plan? So in banking, objective could be maximizing loan recovery or boosting CASA deposit. Without objective, planning is like a ship without a compass. So first thing is that we see the opportunity. The second thing we do is the foundation, that is objective establishment, right? The third thing is that developing planning premises. Here is where, so this is about the predicting the future. In simple words, this is planning premises, but we are predicting the future. It's all about the predicting part. So here is where business play detective. They gather assumption based on trends, right? They gather assumption based on trends. They consider economic condition, inflation and policy. Everything they consider, that what is the economic condition, right? What is the inflation, what is the policies. They keep revising their plan based on new data. For example, if interest rate are expected to rise, suppose interest rate will rise, right? So a bank might tweak its loan pricing strategy accordingly. So bank will accordingly change the loan strategy, right? So planning is not just a wishful thinking, it is a logical data driven process, right? It is data driven process, logical process in, right? So I hope it is clear that the three things which I have just talked now. The first thing is the opportunity analysis, means spot the right chance. Second thing is the setting clear objective, which is the foundation of planning. And the third thing is planning premises, which means predicting the future, right? So I hope this make your concept clear. Now let me talk about the premises, more about this planning premises we are talking about. Let's discuss it now. Planning is like a game of chess. You can't just make a move randomly, you have to think ahead. So let's break down the next step in planning in super simple way. As you can see, that fourth step in the planning is the alternative identification, which is called, also we call it the power of choice. We can call it the power of choice. So right, so imagine you want to increase your bank profitability. Can you do in just one way? No, there are multiple options, right? So what you want to increase the bank profitability, right? Can you do in just one way? No, there are multiple options. What are the way to do it? Either you introduce a high yield saving account, right? You can introduce high yield saving account. You can offer low interest loan, lower interest loan to attract more customer. You can launch a fintech partnership for digital banking. So this step is all about listing all possible strategies and then shortlisting the most promising one. You can say that identifying alternative means what? Crucial to document all alternative them. I've just provided you an example. Suppose you want to increase your bank profitability. So can you do in just one way? No, it is not possible. Here are multiple options. Either you include a high yield saving account, or you offer a low interest loan to attract more customer, or you launch a fintech partnership for digital banking. So what you are doing, you are documenting all possible alternative and narrow them down, right? And then shortlisting the most promising one, right? So this is what we call the power of choice. This is what we call the alternative identification. We list down all the possible alternative that we have, and we narrow them to the most promising one through preliminary examination, right? Now the fifth step is evaluating the alternative, finding the best fit. So in simple word, after the power of choice comes the finding the best fit, right? So not every plan is good plan. Some may be profitable, some may be too risky, and some might be just a bad idea. So bank use something called data analysis. Bank use the data analysis, right? And market studies, and have an AI based tool to compare these alternatives. So see what the tools the bank use: data analysis, market studies, and have an AI based tool. So what they assess, which plan is cost effective, right? So this evaluation is done on cost effectiveness. They see that which plan is cost effective, which plan will grow the business faster. For example, if a bank is considering launching a new digital loan device, it will compare the cost, demand and risk factor before going all in. So what we are talking about is the evaluation of alternative, means finding the best fit, because bank use data analysis, market studies and have an AI based tool to compare the alternative. Which plan is cost effective, which plan will grow the business faster. So if bank is considering launching a new digital loan device, it will compare the cost, demand and risk factor before going all in, right? So this is what we call the finding the best fit. Then the next step we have selecting the best alternative, means the winning move. This is what we call the winning move. So what it means, now comes the moment of truth. So this is called the moment of truth, choosing the best option. The bank decide whether to stick with its existing plan or switch to a better alternative. What is the goal? The goal is to maximize profit and minimize the risk. For example, if an if offering pre-approved digital loan is the best way to attract customer without high operating cost, the bank will go for it. So that is called selecting the best alternative, which is called the winning move. It means if offering pre-approved digital loan is the best way to attract customer without high operational cost, right? So bank will go for it. So selecting the best alternative. Now the next step, 7 number step, is formulating the derivative plan. What is the meaning of it? Means breaking it down. When I say derivative plan, I mean to say that in simple words I can say that breaking it down. So once the main plan is finalized, the next step is creating sub plan or action step to implement it. For example, if a bank plan to introduce instant home loan, so it needs sub plan for what? Marketing its products, training staff for digital loan processing, and setting up the required tech infrastructure. So this step ensure that everything runs smoothly and efficiently. So I am giving you the example of bank because you are most familiar with all these terms, right? You are in your daily banking life, you encounter this. That is why I am taking the example of bank. So you can see that planning is just not about having the idea, it is about choosing the best strategy and executing it perfectly. I hope this make your concept clear. Now let's talk about what are the steps in effective planning. Let's talk about it. So planning is not a one time task, it is a continuous process. Imagine a bank launching a new digital loan scheme. Does the work stop after the launch? No way. Today let's break down the final step of the effective planning in super way. So let's talk about the steps in the effective planning, right? So bank has launched, and just I am giving an example that bank has launching a new digital loan scheme. So does the work stop after the launch? No, it does not stop after the launch. So what are the steps in effective planning? The first is developing new policies and procedures. You can see that development of new policies and procedure, which we call the rule book. So once a plan is finalized, business create rules and procedure to keep everything running smoothly. For example, if suppose a bank introduce instant home loan, so it need a policy defining loan eligibility, it need a procedure for document verification, it needs a guideline for approving loan within minute, isn't it? So a rule book should be framed. So everything must be coordinated with the main business goal, ensuring all departments are on same page. That is what I mean to say, is that a coordination of activity for derivative plan. And then we have follow up and review, right? So what is the meaning of this follow up and review? Just wait a minute. I think, yeah, follow up and review means what? That a plan is not set in stone. The market keep changing and business must adapt, right? So it must adapt. It is essential to monitor the implementation of plan. So constant monitoring is essential to check if the plan is working. If something is not going as expected, adjustments are made, right? So we need to adjust them if something is not working as we planned. So for example, if the instant home loan scheme is not attracting customer, the bank might what bank might do? The bank might lower the interest rate, right? The bank might lower the interest rate, improve the customer awareness campaign, right? Improve the awareness campaign, it can do that, or offer flexible repayment option. So this step ensure the plan succeed instead of just being a good idea on the paper. Now what is the basics of planning? The core concept. Planning is means setting clear objective and figuring out how to achieve them. What is the meaning of planning? It means setting objective and determining way to achieve them. What is the objective of planning? Means the specific target a business want to reach. For example, a bank might set an objective to increase home loan approval by 30% in a year. So the planning process then determine how to make it happen. So this is the basic of planning. First of all, we plan, we set clear objective that yes, we want to increase our home loan approval by 30%. So this is our plan, right? So the target, right? Then planning process determine how to make it happen. So planning is not just about making decision, it is about making the right decision and adjusting them as needed. So that is what we have just covered from these two topics which I just talked now, right? Now what is the importance of planning? Obviously planning is super important. So planning is like having a Google map for your business. Without it, you would be lost, taking wrong turns and wasting time. But with proper planning, you would know exactly where you are headed and how to get there. So why is planning so important? Let's break it down in the simplest way. The first thing you can see is help in the goal creation. So imagine a bank want to increase the customer deposit by 20%, right? Without a plan, it is just a wish. Planning help convert this wish into real goal by deciding how will they attract new customer, what marketing strategy will they use, what kind of saving scheme will they introduce. So a clear goal means clear action. The second thing is providing direction, no more confusion. A business without a plan is like a ship without a captain. Planning give roadmap, to employee know what to do, to manager can guide their teams. It gives a roadmap so that resources can be used in the right way. Then the tackles uncertainty, that means preparing for the unexpected. The financial world is unpredictable, interest rate change, customer demand shift, and economic condition fluctuate. Planning help prepare the bank for future risk by asking what if interest rates suddenly change, what if customer prefer digital banking over branches. By planning in advance, business can stay ahead of the competition. Then we have eliminating the wastage and overlapping tasks with maximizing efficiency. So without planning, two bank employee might unknowingly work on the same task, leading to wasted time and resources. That it might possible that overlapping task is there. So planning help streamline work so that everyone know what one does, right? Then we have encouraging innovation. What it means that great plan leads to great ideas. Bank that planned will launch UPI payment, instant loan approval, AI driven financial services, all through innovative planning. Then we have the next point, facilitating decision making. When a bank has a clear plan, decision become easy and logical. Should we expand into rural market? Should we increase interest rate on saving? Should we launch a credit card for a student? With a stronger plan, the right choice become clear. Then lastly we have controlling, means ensure control, keeping everything on track. Planning is not about starting something, it is also about monitoring progress. If the things are not working, adjustments are made. If the target are not made, strategies are revised. So this continuous control ensures that business stay profitable and efficient. So in short, we can say that planning is the backbone of success. Without it, business struggle. With it, they grow and thrive. I hope this make your concept crystal clear. Now, what is the importance of planning in management? Let's talk about it. So let's see how the planning is important to the context of management. You know that planning are very crucial, right? So imagine you are playing chess but without a strategy. You move pieces randomly and hope for the best. Sound like a disaster, right? Well, that is exactly what happens when business operate without planning. In management, planning is like a blueprint. It lays the foundation for success. So the first thing is that it helps in the goal creation. You can see the first step, it helps in goal creation. The which we call the business GPS. Think of a bank aiming to become the top leader in the country. Suppose a bank is aiming to become the top leader in a country, right? So without a plan, this is just a dream. Planning converts dream into goal. What planning does? It converts dream into goal, right? It defines a step to reach the goal. It ensures that every decision aligns with it. Simply, no goal, no direction. But with planning, business know where they are going. Simple rule is that if you have no goal, it means no direction. So what planning does? It helps business know where they are going, right? It helps provide the direction. Imagine a football team with no game plan. Player would run randomly, unsure of their next move. That is exactly what happens in a company without planning. Planning ensures that everyone knows their role, right? Everyone know what is their role. Employee work toward a common objective, right? And time, money and resources are used efficiently. With a clear plan, every effort contribute to one big goal. Then we have tackles uncertainty. That be ready for the surprises. So business world is unpredictable. Market crash, interest rate change, customer demand shift. So planning is like having a backup parachute. It's prepared business for a challenges. What if the competitor launches a better product? What if inflation rise suddenly? What if digital banking overtakes traditional banking? So by planning alternative path, business stay ahead of the risk, right? So these are the 3 points. So help goal creation, provide direction, tackle uncertainty, discard overlapping and wasteful activity. That means eliminate waste. Imagine a bank has 2 different teams working on the same task. Double effort, double cost, zero efficiency. So planning ensures that no task is repeated unnecessarily. So friends, we are talking about the importance of planning. So the one importance you can see is to promote innovative ideas, right? So have you ever wondered why some business grow rapidly while others struggle to survive? The secret lies in effective planning, right? So in today's fast moving world, doing the same old thing won't help business stay ahead of the competition. Companies don't always need new product, but they must find better, smarter and cheaper way to operate. For example, bank are now using, just wait a minute, okay, bank are now using AI based tools, AI driven chatbot, right? So instead of manual customer service, saving time, money and effort. So moral of the story is that planning encourages creative problem solving. That is all innovative ideas. The next is facilitate decision making, means making no guesswork, right? So imagine a bank manager has to approve a huge loan. Without planning, it is just a random decision. So planning provides a clear framework. So by providing a clear framework, right, it helps manager predicts outcomes. So what can be the prediction of the future outcomes? and it ensures logical, well thought out decision, right? So planning is like a cheat code for success. It takes the guesswork out of decision making. And you know that planning plus controlling is perfect match. This is the perfect match. So planning and controlling are like two sides of the same coin. Planning is about what needs to be done, controlling is about checking if it is being done right. So planning sets the foundation, means what needs to be done, while controlling checks whether it is done right. Right, without planning there is no benchmark for success. How would a company know if they are winning or falling? So a well planned strategy ensures business can spot mistake, fix problem and stay on track. So this is about the perfect match. Now we will talk about the SMART goals. Let's talk about these SMART goals. Here it is, SMART goals. So what it means? A goal without a plan is just a wish. That is why business use SMART goals. What is full form of SMART? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. Right. For example, a bank has planning to increase home loan approval. Won't just say let's approve more loan. A SMART goal would be increase home loan approval by 20%. Right. Increase home loan approval by 20% within 6 months by launching a digital loan processing system. So SMART full form is asked every year. A specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely. So specific means it should be clearly defined. Measurable means we can track the progress. It achievable means what? Realistic. Relevant means it aligns with the business goal, and timely means it had a deadline. So suppose a bank plan to increase home loan approval. It won't just say let's approve more loan. A SMART goal would be increase home loan approval by 20% within 6 months by launching a digital loan processing system. So that is a clear, structured and trackable. So wrapping it up, planning fuels innovation, planning simplifies decision making, planning keep business on track, and also it set a SMART goal for success. SMART means specific, measurable, realistic, achievable and timely. Now let's talk about the advantage of planning. So why should we do planning and what are its advantages? Let's talk about it. So here you can see the key points. So the first point you can see coordination of various activities, right? So this is one of the advantage, that imagine a bank where loan team, market team and the customer service team are all working without coordination. So in that case what will happen? They are working without any coordination. In that case marketing promote business loan, customer service is busy handling home loan query and the loan department is focused on personal loan. Result, total confusion, wasted effort and lost customer. That is why planning is important. It aligns all team toward one clear goal, right? So it allows all different departments to achieve the set goal. So that the goal is quite clear to achieve the clear goal. So it ensures a smooth operation and higher success rate. Obviously success rate will be higher. Now this is one advantage. The second advantage is optimization of resource, means maximum output, minimum waste, right? So when I say optimization of resource, it means what? Maximum output and minimum waste, right? Ever seen a bank with too many employees in one branch but none in other? Planning help allocate resource wisely, right? So then next thing is inspiration and responsibility, right? Inspiration and responsibility. And then we have I think we have already covered it. Objective focus. Just wait a minute, let me check it. Yes, so here the basic advantage. Just see this, that you can see that it focus on the objective. What is the meaning of focusing on objective? Means without planning a company effort are all over the place. Planning ensure that everyone moves in the same direction toward a clear goal. For example, if a bank want to increase digital payment, planning will help them set a specific target, aligning effort to the marketing, IT and customer support team, track progress and adjust a strategy if needed. Then we have facilitate control. Means planning is not just about setting goals, it is about tracking the progress. If a company is not meeting a target, planning helps them analyze what is going wrong, fix in time. Think of it like a fitness plan. If your goal is to lose 5 kg in 2 months, you should track your diet, you should adjust workout, you should stay on course. Now, planning encourages creativity and innovation. Already we have talked about it. Planning is not just about rules and structure. It is also a spark creativity. Business explore new way to solve problem. Encourage employee to think differently. Find cost-effective solution to everyday challenge. For example, bank have introduced AI-based chatbot that can handle customer query instantly. Also, planning anticipate problem and cope with the changes. Point E you can see. So it means that market changes every day, but business that plan ahead and never panic. So planning help companies identify potential issues in advance. It helps prepare them to tackle risk without losing any money. And now the last option you can see, aligning with the organization goal. It means what? It means planning ensures that everyone in a company work toward the same destination. Think of it as a football team. Without a game plan, planning run in different direction. With a strategy, every move is coordinated toward scoring goals. Now, planning has limited vulnerability, limits risk and vulnerability. So planning help business reduce risk by studying potential failure before they happen. How do they minimize risk? So that failure is studied before it happen. Then we have, it facilitate coordination. What it means? That a well-oiled machine. Planning brings all department together, marketing, sales, finance, HR, so that they work as a one unit. Without coordination, it is like orchestra where everyone play a different tune. So wrapping it up, cut down uncertainty, keep team focused, encourage innovation, prepare business for change, and finally reduce risk and improve efficiency. So this for your journey, it guides you. But what if the GPS take you down the wrong road? That is exactly what we'll decode in this particular slide. How planning can sometimes backfire in organization and what to watch out for. The first thing is that forestall activity. Ever heard of analysis paralysis? Have you ever heard of this term, so-called analysis paralysis? So that is when managers are so obsessed with planning every detail that they forget to actually take action. In business, that is called death by plan. Remember, plan are means to guide, not stop you from moving forward. It is called death by plan. This is the first disadvantage, that it forestalls activity. If you are only planning and not taking any activity, it is without any use. Now, the second disadvantage is lack of concern. So it means false sense of security. Sometimes plan make manager feel too safe, right? Manager feel too safe. They think everything is on track just because the plan is in place. They stop monitoring progress and ignore changes around them, right? So they neglect to monitor progress and ignore the changes around them. But in the real world, conditions change and plan needs to change with them. Now the third is kill adaptability. It forestalls adaptability. When things don't go as planned, middle manager might feel pressurized to stick to the plan anyway, even if it is clearly not working. Instead of reporting issues, they waste time and resources on a sinking ship. So bottom line is that plan are great tool, but only if you use them wisely, right? So plan is obviously a great tool, but only if you use them wisely. So stay adaptable and keep your eyes on reality. I hope you got this concept locked in your mind. Now what are the basic disadvantages or the disadvantages of the planning process? You can see it is time consuming, right? These are the basic disadvantage. It is time consuming. So means that imagine planning every second of your vacation, where to eat, where to rest, and how many photos to take. Sound exhausting, right? In business too, planning it up a lot of time, leaving less time for action. Then we have second point is that lack of trustworthy data. You can see lack of trustworthy data. So planning are only as good as the data they are based on. And what if the data is unreliable? Garbage in, garbage out, the whole plan apart. You might have heard about GIGO principle, garbage in, garbage out. Now the next thing is expensive. That planning is not free. It involves money, time and resource. Sometimes it becomes so costly that you wonder if it is even worth it. Then the next point we have is rigidity. So planning can make organization stubborn, like sticking to a rigid gym routine even when your body is telling you to rest. Business may refuse to adapt just because it is in the plan. Then we have resistance to change. This is another disadvantage. Change is the only constant, but guess what? Planning often fight against change. That is like usual yesterday map for today's fast changing world. Then we have next point, false sense of strength. Sometimes what happen, a good looking plan make organization feel stronger than they really are, like a flashy car with no engine. Looks good but won't get far, right? So planning could give a misleading impression. And the last is misaligning interest. Have you ever seen a group project where everyone follow their own agenda? The same happen in planning. Sometimes people tweak plan to suit their own interest instead of focusing on what is best for the organization. So that is called misaligned interest. So while planning is crucial, being aware of this pitfall make you a smarter manager and help you prepare better for your upcoming CIB examination. What do you think is the biggest danger of planning? Drop your thought below. Now, so there are some additional drawback of planning. Let's discuss them also. So here you can see some additional drawback of planning. We will cover each and every aspect. So planning is not just like a plotting your way. Planning is like plotting your way to the top of mountain. You think you have got it all figured out. But what if the weather changes, the path disappears, or your guide made mistake? The first thing come is interdepartmental rivalries. So what it means, interdepartment rivalry? So ever since sibling fighting over who gets the last slice of cake? In business, department often clash over resources or responsibility. Right? Business often clash over resources or responsibility. So these rivalry can ruin even well thought out plan. Then we have something called human errors. So we are all human, right? And human make mistake, whether it is wrong data or bad decision. These error can throw off the entire planning process. These are called human error. The next is exaggerated possibility. Sometimes planner daydream too much, thinking of what if and that are unlikely. So it is like training to survive a zombie apocalypse instead of preparing for the real life challenge. Then we have target fixation issue. What it means, that setting target is good, but if they are too rigid, people may feel boxed in. Too loose, nobody takes them seriously. Finding the balance is the trick. Now then we have false sense of security. Just because you have a plan does not mean everything is fine. Plan can create a false sense of safety, making manager miss warning sign. Then we have dynamic environment. You know that business world changes faster than the trending meme, right? So sticking to an old plan is in a fast changing environment not a great idea. Then we have it impacts on the daily work. You can see it impact our daily work. You know, while manager get too caught up in planning, their daily responsibilities suffer, just like skipping work to make a perfect vacation itinerary. At the end of day, planning is important, but knowing its drawback make you smarter. Now let's talk about MBO. Very important from examination point of view. This is called management by objective. Have you ever been part of a team where goals are unclear and everyone is just doing stuff without any direction? Well, that explains the problem Peter Drucker solved with MBO. Peter Drucker, you must remember his name, right? He solved this problem with MBO, where you are a part of team where goals are unclear and everyone is just doing stuff without direction. Let's break it down in simple terms. What is MBO? You know, MBO, you can think of MBO just like a GPS for business. You can think of MBO as a GPS for business. It set a destination, that is called the goal. It set a goal, or we call it destination, right? And gives clear direction to help people get there. No more confusion or no more wasted effort. What are the steps in MBO? You can think of it like GPS for a business, right? What are the steps in MBO? The first step is to establish goal. You can see clearly written here. The first step is to establish goal. Means first the manager and employee sit together and decide on a clear goal, right? So you should decide the clear goal, right? Think of it like agreeing on destination before starting a road trip. You want to start a road trip and you agree on this should be destination. Then they set performance standards. So next they set benchmark to measure success, like deciding you will hit 60 mph on the highway to stay on track. Then what they do, they assess the performance. Means what? Regular check-in happens to see if you are on course to take the scene route. They are review meeting between managers and employee. Then they identify the reason for shortfall. Means what? If something goes wrong, they figure out why and discuss way to get back on track, like checking if flat tires or slowed you down. Then they establish new goals. Means what? After completing one journey, right, new goals are set for the next one, because progress never stops. So establishing goal, setting performance standards, assessing performance, identifying reason for shortfall, establishing new goals. These are part and parcel of the MBO process. Now what is the key concept of MBO? This is about being proactive. What is the meaning? It is about being proactive. Means what? Not just reacting to the problem, but being proactive, like fixing a roof before the rainy season starts. Now then we have something called measurable personal goal. Means what? Employees set measurable goals that align with the company goal, so everyone is rowing in the same direction. You know, MBO ensure that everyone know what they are doing, why they are doing, and how success will be measured. That is why it is a game changer for organization and a key concept for your CIB AVFM examination. Let me give you an example to make it more clear. So let's bring theory of management to life with a simple example. Imagine you are in civil engineering team. You are leading a civil engineering team for a housing project. How do you ensure everything gets done? Suppose an infrastructure company set a goal. What is the goal? Let me show you. Just wait a minute. Yeah, here you can see. Yeah, this example I'm taking. So let's suppose an infrastructure company, right? He set a goal that complete the housing project infrastructure in 12 months. Okay, now the chief engineer job is to align every task under his big goal. Now here is the catch: individual goal must act like puzzle piece, right? So those individual goal must act like a puzzle piece, right? When they all fit together, the project is completed successfully. For instance, one team might handle the foundation while other focus on electrical system. Tracking and documenting process is the key, because rewards or incentive often depends on hitting those goals, right? Because rewards and incentive depends on hitting. When we hit those goals, we get rewards and incentive. So tracking and documenting progress is the key. Now let's talk about the step of MBO in simple terms. What is the step of MBO? What is the step of management by objective? Let's see. So the first step is to establish the organization goal. It means what? The company define and update its goals based on its mission and vision. It's like deciding the final blueprint of the project. Final blueprint of the project. So this is called establishing organization goal. Then second thing is communicate goal. These goals are shared with everyone. You know, you have heard about the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, acceptable, realistic, time bound. So these goals are shared with everyone and SMART goals are used. Now the third is encouraging participation. Means employees are involved in setting their own target. Why? Because when people set their own goal, they are more motivated to achieve them. So encourage participation by setting their own goal. Then we have monitoring progress. Performance is tracked regularly to see if the target are being met. Think of it like ongoing site inspection during the construction project. And then we have evaluate and reward. Finally, honest feedback is given. Rewards are distributed based on the achievement. This could mean incentive or recognition for a job well done. So MBO makes everyone in the company work smarter, not just harder, by aligning their personal goal with the organization big picture, isn't it? So first of all, we establish the final blueprint. We set the communication goal. We encourage participation. We monitor progress, and then finally we give evaluate. What are some additional steps in MBO? Let's see. So these are the basic steps: establishing, communication, encouraging, monitoring, and evaluation and reward. Now what's some additional step? The first additional step is organization goal, right? So first thing first, organization set big picture goal. Imagine you are planning a road trip. You need to know your destination, right? So here top manager come together to figure out what the company can achieve after reviewing its resource and capabilities. Second is employee objective. You know, it's time to get personal manager sit down with their team member to set individual goal that align with the big company goal. Think of it as assigning role in a movie production. Everyone know what they need for the final masterpiece. Then we have monitoring performance progress. What it means? Performance progress means you can't just set goal and forget about them. Manager need to track employee performance closely, just like you monitor exam preparation progress to see if you are on track for success. Then we have evaluation of performance. Regular review are crucial. Manager meet to discuss whether their goal are being met, or if there is a change, if there is need to change the approach. It's like revisiting your study schedule if the results are not as expected. And then finally we have continuous feedback. You know that feedback is super important. Imagine a football game where the coach never talks to player until the match end. Chaos, right? So here employee get regular feedback on their work, helping them improve in real time. And finally we have appraisal. So accomplishments are formally reviewed. Rewards and recognition are given based on achievement, because who does not love a little appreciation for their hard work? So MBO is like a well-planned journey where everyone know their role, progress is tracked, and wins are celebrated. What is happening there? We are getting appraisal, we are getting feedback, we are getting the evaluation of performance, monitoring performance, employee objective, organization goal, right? So these are the way. Now what are the limitation of the MBO, right? You know, first limitation is organization culture and condition. You can see the first limitation written clearly here. You know that MBO sometimes forget that every organization has its own vibe, right? You know, every organization has its own vibe, its culture, its working condition. Imagine introducing a super strict schedule in a creative startup. It just won't work, right? So that is called organization culture. You have to see the organization culture. Then this MBO does not take into consideration. Now the second limitation is the focus on goal. You know that ever feel like life is just about ticking off tasks? That is what happens when MBO puts too much pressure on goal, ignoring employee involvement and personal growth. So this is called focus on goal. The third is operational oversight. Sometimes manager gets so busy setting goals that they forget to solve daily operational problem. It's like planning a grand dinner party but forgetting to cook. Then we have environmental context. MBO don't always account for external factor like available resource, leadership support, or stakeholder needs. They like planning a road trip without checking the fuel or weather. Then we have our dependence on MBO. Managers sometimes treat MBO like a magic wand, but relying only on MBO without handling other issues can backfire. So obviously these are some of the key disadvantages of MBO. Now let's talk about the advantage also. So the first advantage you can see is clear goal setting and planning. Without goal, success is just a wishful thinking. MBO provide a structured process approach to planning and achieving those goals. The second thing is proactive behavior. We know it very well. What is the meaning of proactive, right? So instead of waiting for problem to pop up, MBO pushes organization to think ahead and stay disciplined. The third is contingency planning. So life is unpredictable, and MBO encourages backup plan to handle unexpected situation, like having a plan B for your CIB preparation. This is called contingency planning. You should have a plan B also, right? Then we have a measurable objective. Means what? When goals are clear and measurable, it is easy to track progress and make adjustment, just like tracking your exam scores. Then daily we conduct mock tests, right? And you should attempt those mock tests. So you check. These are called measurable objectives. Now, planning for obstacle. MBO help organization create strategies to overcome challenges. It is like knowing how to handle tricky question in the examination. Then we have efficient uses of the resource. That is called resource efficiency. You can see clearly written here, resource efficiency. It means with well planned goal, you can make the best use of your resource, whether it is time, people, or material. And then we have result focus. It means MBO emphasize getting real result, which boosts overall efficiency. Just like focusing on quality revision improves your exam information. So that is MBO in simple terms, its challenge and benefit. And obviously we are talking about the disadvantage, like it is time consuming, right? Time consuming, collaboration is required, right? Increased paperwork, multitasking, inefficiency. What is the meaning of this? So juggling too many tasks at once can reduce efficiency, right? It's like trying to study for multiple subjects at the same time and ending up learning none properly. Then we have something called subordinate discomfort. That means some employee may feel uneasy with MBO. Then inflexibility, employee frustration, rewards and sanction, lack of appreciation. So these are the few disadvantages of MBO, right? Now let's talk about the planning component. What is the meaning of planning component? Let's talk about it. So planning is very essential, right? So understanding planning, what are the components of planning? So first thing is objective or goal. So objective or goal, you can think of it like a destination. Just like your plan to score a minimum of 50 marks in CIB, every organization set clear target to hit. You plan, right? You plan to score at least 50 marks in CIB. That is how every organization set clear target to hit. Then we have policy review. Policies are like rule of the game. They give you a general idea of what is acceptable and what is not. In an exam, this could be guideline on how to answer question. Then we have procedure, direction, and rules. So these are the detailed steps to achieve goal. Imagine a study schedule. First read concept, then attempt MCQ, and finally take a mock test. So this is called procedures. Then we have program or method. This is where the action happen. Program are like a structured strategy, like following a week by week CIB plan. Then we have budget and funding, which means no plan is complete without money. Organization allocate fund for project, just like we allocate money for book, courses, or exam fee. Then we have time schedules. That time is money. Setting timeline for task completion is as crucial as sticking to your exam countdown schedule. Then we have core value on mission and vision. So these are like core benefit and long-term goal of an organization. Think of your mission as clearing CIB and your vision as boosting your banking career. Then we have SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. It's like a reality check. What are your strengths? What are your weak? What opportunity can you seize? What threat should you watch out for? And then we have management. So finally, management ties everything together, just like you managing your time, resource, and mindset during exam preparation. So this is all about the planning component. Now let's talk about the environmental analysis now. So friends, environmental analysis is like taking a 360-degree look around you. So here it is key point, I'm writing it here. It is just like a 360-degree view around you, right? So seeing both the internal and the external factor. So that can affect your organization. So you are seeing 360-degree view. It means you are looking at all the internal and external factor that could impact your organization. Think of it as checking the weather before heading out. You want to know what is coming your way. So there are some internal factor and there are some external factor. So what are some external factor? Let's discuss. So external factor includes things like market change, right? External components includes things like market change, regulation, competitions, and economic shifts. While internal components is all about your strength and weakness, what your organization is good at and what is where it might fall short. And now the question is, why is environmental analysis important? What are the advantages of environmental analysis? Imagine you are preparing for CIIB. You want to understand your strength like mastering concept and weakness like areas that need improvement. The same goes for organization. By looking at both the outside world and the internal situation, they can create a strategy to succeed. So that is the importance of environmental analysis. If we talk about the advantage of environmental analysis, in short we can call it EA. So whenever I say EA, it just means environmental analysis. So the first advantage is goal achievement. What it means? That it helps organizations set realistic goal by looking at the opportunity. You would not set a goal to run a marathon if you are not ready for it, right? Same concept. Risk identification. Think of it like preparing for an exam. If you know your weak subject, you can focus on them. Similarly, business use environmental analysis to spot risk and mitigate them before they become a problem. The third advantage is understand commercial development. By staying aware of the changes around you, whether it is a new trend, technology or business regulation, you are better prepared. For example, knowing digital banking trends help you ace CIB digital banking questions. Then we have awareness creation. What it means? Environmental analysis keep business alert, like knowing when a storm is coming. It helps them prepare for challenges and seize new opportunity, whether it is new product launch or emerging market. Then we have future prediction. So just like how weather app predict the weather, business use environmental analysis to predict future trend in their industry. It's like forecasting what is going to happen next. And then we have recognized potential. It is all about spotting what can go right. By understanding the environment, business can take advantage of emerging opportunity and avoid potential threat. So there you have it. Environmental analysis is a tool that helps organization and you as a CIB exam taker, right, stay ahead of the game. Goal achievement, risk identification, understanding commercial development, awareness creation, future prediction, and recognizing potential. Now what are the steps under it? There are 5 steps. Let me talk about it. Super important from examination point of view. So first thing first, environmental analysis is not just about collecting random data. There is step-by-step process to it. The first thing is identifying. Means what? Just like how you identify what topics to study first for CIIB, business identify key factor affecting their environment. What is happening around them? Market trend, consumer behavior, competition. This is called identifying. Scanning. Now that you have identified the factor, it's time to scan through the data. Think of it like reviewing all your notes before the exam. So you gather all the information you need. Then analyzing. Once you have the data, it's time to make sense of it. Business interpret this information to understand what is really going on. This is like understanding how your weak subject in CIIB are connected to your strength. And then forecasting. And then comes predicting the futures. After analyzing, business forecast what is likely to happen in near or far future. It's like predicting the type of question that could appear on your CIIB examination based on the past trend. So identifying, scanning, analyzing and predicting, forecasting. These are the 4 analysis steps. Please go through it once more. I have given you example also. Now let's talk about the pastel analysis, a tool that evaluates 6 factors affecting a business. How many factors are there? 6 factors are there which affects a business, right? And here is the fun part. You will see how this can also relate to your exam preparation. You see, pastel stands for political, economical, social, technological, and just wait a minute, and we have legal, right, and environmental. So this is what called pastel. So let's talk about these factors step by step. So political, what political means? That this is about the government and policies. Any change in law or regulation can impact business, just like how change in banking policy can affect your CIB syllabus. Similarly, we have economical. Economics means what? How the economy is doing. If the economy is growing, business thrive. If it is struggling, business had to adjust. Just like understanding inflation and interest rate for your CIB examination. Social. Think about how society change. If people preference or habit change, business need to keep up. Then we have technological. Means what? Technology is always changing. Business need to stay on the top of tech trend or risk falling behind. Legal. Law and regulation can make or break our business. It can either make a business or it can break a business. Law and regulation. So imagine how the banking sector get impacted by new rules. And finally we have environmental. So finally we have the environment, both literally and figuratively. How do environment factor like sustainability or climate change impact business? So by analyzing all these 6 areas, business can figure out what could go wrong or right. This helps them stay ahead and making informed decision. So to sum it up, environmental analysis help business look at the bigger picture, and pastel analysis give them the tool to evaluate the 6 critical areas affecting them. Remember, staying informed about the environment around you, whether it is for your exam or business, help you stay ahead, predict change and act smartly. What are the steps of pastel analysis? Now let's discuss. You know that if you have ever wondered how business stayed in the curve, one of the answer lie in pastel analysis. So how do pastel analysis actually work? There are three key steps that make this tool so effective. The first is identify relevance. Means what? Imagine you are studying for CIB, but you don't know where to focus your energy. Just like how business need to figure out which pastel factor mattered most to them. First, business need to identify what is most relevant. Is the policy affecting the industry? Is the economy shifting? This is the foundation of making most of the business, right? So the second is categorize information. Once you have identified the relevance, that which we know there are 6 factors, right? So which factor really affect the business, we should identify that. Next is categorize information. Means once you know what matter, the next step is to sort out the information. This is like organizing your study material, right? This is like you organizing your study material by topic. Just as you would group all your banking regulation in one place and financial planning in other, so business do the same, right? So once you know what matter, the next thing is to do is to sort out the information. This is like organizing your study material by topic. Just as you group all your banking regulation in one place and financial planning in other, that's called categorizing the information. Now finally we have analyze and conclude. After gathering all the data, it's time to analyze it. This is the moment where you start connecting the dots. What does this information mean for future of the business? Similarly, when you go through your CIB mock test, you analyze each answer to see how it connect with the key concept, and business do the same. So now that you know the steps, let's talk about why pastel is such a game-changing tool for business. So we know we have to identify the relevance, which factor is most relevant. We have to categorize information for each factor, right? For economic factor, we have to categorize information, we have to collect the data, and for each factor we have to categorize the information, and finally we have to connect the dots by analyzing and concluding. So what is the advantage of pastel analysis? Now that you know the steps, so the first thing is that it is cost effective. Pastel is super cost effective. It does not require fancy tool or resource, just your ability to analyze the environment around you. For business, this means making informed decision without breaking the bank. The next we have easy framework. The next advantage we have is the easy framework. You know it that pastel is straightforward, just 6 factors to focus on. It is not complicated. It making it super easy to understand and use. The next is deep understanding. You know that by using pastel, business gain a deep understanding of the world around them. They understand how politics, economy, and other factors shape their strategy. Then we have development of alertness. You know, pastel also help business stay alert to the changes and trend in the world. And finally we have opportunities exploitation. So pastel help business to spot opportunity before anyone else. They can seize the moment, whether it is new market trend or legal change that work in their favor. So there you have it, pastel analysis broken down in easy steps and benefit. So the pastel is not just for big company, it is tool for anyone to make a smarter decision, right? So just now we have talked about all the factors. I think it is again repeated. So you can see the first thing is that political factor, then we have economic factor. Let's see what are the more political factor in detail. So friends, political factor means politics may seem far removed from banking, but trust me, it is a huge influence. Why? Because the stability of a country government plays a major role in how business run. If a country is politically unstable, or if there is government interference, business can struggle, and banks are no different. Think about it. New banking law, trade restriction, tariff, and even corruption can have massive impact on banking operation. For example, if the government suddenly changes labor law or increase tariff, it could affect a banking ability to do business smoothly. So in simple terms, a strong, stable political environment make it easier for bank to thrive. Then we have something called economic factor. You know, the economy directly influence how well a business, including bank, perform. Think about like this: when interest rate rise, it costs more to borrow money. So if you want to take out a loan for new business or personal use, the higher interest rate, the more expensive the loan become. On the top of that, inflation, exchange rate, unemployment rate, and overall economic growth all plays a role. If economy is doing well, people have more money to spend, and the bank are more likely to make profit. But when things go south and customers start cutting back on spending, bank feel the pressure too. So economic changes can either boost or hurt the performance of banking industry. There is some social culture factor also. You know, these are the aspects that involve people's culture, people's belief, right, religion, and how different countries operate in terms of gender roles, language, religion. For example, in some country, banking behavior might be influenced by traditional way of handling money, while in other, consumer expect a seamless digital transformation. So it is important for bank to understand these factors, because if they don't cater to a specific culture need or a local expectation, they risk losing customer, right? Then we have technological factor. So technology is the king. Whether it is mobile banking app, whether it is so faster transaction processing or even remote working. Technology has revolutionized the banking industry, right? But this does not just make things faster, it also help business cut cost, improve quality and stay competitive. For a bank, tech is all about staying ahead of the game. How quickly can they innovate? How can they improve their customer service and make banking more accessible? And with advance in AI or even blockchain, technology is reshaping the way bank interact with customer and manage their client. So these are all the kinds of things which you should cater in the field of this pastel analysis. So now that we have understood the basic thing, so what topic we have covered in this particular slide, in this particular lesson, just see. We have gone through the objective. Just wait a minute. We have gone through the objective. We have seen the introduction. We have seen the fundamental of planning, steps in planning, importance of planning, advantage and disadvantage of planning, management by objective. Now the plan component, contingency planning and forecasting we will cover in the next lecture. So I hope I have provided you sufficient information to go through it. This in the part 2 lecture I will cover the rest portion. Thank you.